Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome in, take a seat and get comfortable. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day so far. It's great to have you all here. Hope you're all keeping safe and well. So, on today's video, we're going to be checking out an EP called Trials by a band called Here at the End. So, before we go any further, something that I just realized is that a lot of people that that watch me on YouTube might not necessarily see any of my content on Instagram. I post 4-5 days a week sometimes on Instagram. I do various things. I'm very active. I've got an active story. I'm always posting memes and kind of amusing videos, and I also make minute-long clips of bands because I can't do a reaction video for every single band that comes along, basically. So I feature some bands on my Instagram channel. Just put a minute-long clip up there. If you like what I do here, you'll very likely enjoy what I do over at my Instagram channel, RDG Promotions. So go follow me there if you want more content, basically. I'm going to start saying that on my videos because I actually realized that everyone that watches my Instagram videos might not be on YouTube and vice versa, so on and so forth. So, with that out of the way, so interesting history with Here at the End. The first time I can remember listening to these guys, and I might have this completely wrong, because it's from about... Let me see. Well, this song's from 3 years ago, but I've listened to some stuff. It doesn't matter. The timeline's all messed up. Different conversations with different people, so on and so forth. But the first time I remember hearing this band, they were what I would call a kind of slightly blackened deathcore band. And they dropped a song called Crucifixion. We're going to check that out, and because this is the first time that we're actually featuring Here at the End on the channel, the first time we've reacted, I'm also going to play you one of their more recent singles. I apologize. So I'm just getting some set up here. Yeah, we're gonna just so you guys can see the jump. So here's some of the conversations that I've had with these dudes. So this is a conversation that I had all the way back on December 20th, 2022. And it says, "Hello, we just put out a new track. Hope you dig it. Oh, I tried to send you a load, it didn't work, blah, 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 so on and so forth." And I said, "Hey, man, really nice song. It sounds really, really different. Sounds really different from my other stuff like Crucifixion. I had to make sure it was the same band. Lol. Yeah, we switched out guitar players. Glad you liked it, so on and so forth." Then we've sent some stuff back and forth, but because I'm really unorganized and I just get sidetracked by other things, it's taken way too long to finally actually get these guys on the channel. So yeah. So we're gonna check out Crucifixion. Not because this is what I'm expecting this EP to sound like, far from it, but it's a really good song, and it just kind of shows how different how far the band have come. I think I don't know if they switched any members. Maybe they've switched. Maybe they're a gent band now. Who knows? But hey, that's part of the fun. So this came out January 8th, 2020. Crucifixion, Here at the End. So fucking great track, like really really great track. I was like, man, that's the tits. That's really really good. This is a track called Seed. This comes off of the EP Trials that we're gonna listen to. So, if anyone ever says to you, "Oh, that music, it all just sounds the same, it's all just noise, they're all just shouting, blah, 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 blah," just play them those two songs. Two very, very heavy songs, very, very not radio friendly. Definitely ain't gonna spend no time in the fucking, like, you know, in the top 10. And that's not an insult. That's not an insult at all. I'm sorry to sound like an old guy, but there's not a lot of stuff in the charts right now is fairly pish. There's always a lot of pish, but there's an extra amount of shitty, meaningless junk in the charts right now. But yeah, play them those two songs and then go, really? No difference? No difference between the two? Are you sure? So yeah, fairly different. What a difference a guitarist makes, or a different guitarist, as I should say. So I think it's time to get into it, guys. Let's go. So I'm not expecting much Blackened stuff on this album. I mean, quite obvious that I'm not going to be expecting. I don't think anyone's expecting. But yeah, these guys call themselves heavy hardcore and slam. Fine with that. That sounds good to me. That sounds super, super good to me. Right, okay, let's go. Trials, first track, Destruction, Genesis. Uh-oh.
SQA qualifications ensures...
That's not what you want. That's definitely not what you want. Spotify playing some adverts for some reason. Sounds like I might need to pay a bill. Okay, track number 2, Lightning. Track number 3, obsolete. Very, very hardcore thing there. Very, very hardcore. Super, super short tracks. Love it. Track 4, I'm pretty sure. That was the best track so far. That was nasty. Seriously, seriously nasty. Preyed Upon, track 4. Let's go.
Too weird to live, and too rare to die.
Sounding so deathcore in so many places there, like undeniably, like there's like beatdown influences. It's definitely got like a hardcore kind of like heart pumping, like definitely. They're a hardcore band before they're anything else, I would say. But some of those vocals there sounding very, very deathcore-esque. Such an interesting EP. Holy shit, man. Full of surprises. I think this is track 5, The Corruption. Last track, which we've already heard. Let's do it again. Seed. Wow. Wowza. That was an experience. Holy shit. Holy shit. Here at the end, Trials. I enjoyed the shit out of that. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. That was. I'm just slightly taken aback. There's just so many different influences in there. Very, very strong, kind of like beatdown style vocals, but there was also some kind of like deathcore-esque kind of stuff in there as well as some nasty slammy stuff. There was some really traditional sounding like hardcore stuff, like really like the two-step. There was a lot of that, which we're going to get to. But there was bits that in isolation sounded like just like a straight death metal track. Really mad, really mad. So many different influences, and so just such an interesting sound overall. Just not hyper, perfectly mixed and mastered like a lot of other extreme metal. Very, very, very brutal. Very, very stripped back. Very hardcore, I guess. Holy shit. So the first part that I want to get to here, I literally just said what. This was when they, I'll let you guys hear it. What on earth do you call that? It's so high pitched and lacerating. It sounds more like Meth Witch than anything else. Like not quite as chaotic and kind of like, sound effect heavy as Meth Witch. There was no sound effects there, but just the kind of like the very, very high, high register, high frequency sounds going on there, just with like the relentless nature of it and those vocals as well. The first two sets of them, I think it's layered. With some kind of effect put over the highs, I think there's like those with some kind of like a fry scream going over the top. Very, I don't know if you want to call that. I mean, it's definitely metal. It's not like it's not pop punk. Obviously, it's not power metal. But exactly. Identifying what's exactly going on there, like from a stylistic point of view, is quite difficult, I would say. I think it just sounds like here at the end. Sounds like kind of noise. It almost sounds like it's going to be like turning into like noise core or gore noise or something like that. It's got that kind of just like so extreme lacerating, such an extreme lacerating sound to it. It's really good, man. Really, really good. There's some guitar here that I want to highlight. Like again, very, very strange, very, very strange sounds. I can't speak today at all. Can't do it. interesting scale, interesting tuning, interesting key. Something very unsettling is going on there. There's just so many moments like that. Just with these little devious sections just mixed in there, just keeping the sound. It's just very hardcore, very sporadic. You just have no idea what's coming next. And then I've literally written Saint Anger here, and that's not to hopefully that doesn't piss anyone off, but that snare sound literally sounds like. And then, I mean, it literally sounds like he's hitting an oil drum, like just like next to him. He's got two snares. He just brings that one out of like a rucksack or something and just doing for like that one part of the song, because then the snare goes back to not sounding like that. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I want to talk about the intro here. I think that's what I've written. There's some bass coming up here that I want to highlight as well. Just fantastic. That's how you mix bass. And there was a tiny little like high scream there as well that faded in that I only just noticed. There's a lot going on in this 18 minutes and 54 seconds. There's a shit ton going on here, man. This is really, really inventive. There's a lot of things that you'll notice on subsequent playthroughs. Very interesting. I've literally just written here voice. So it's got air to it, but it sounds like there's a lot of constriction being used as well to make that sound. It sounds very narrow but very airy at the same time. It's very, very cool. Very, very cool stuff. So I've actually written here grindcore because I think this section actually is just a grindcore section. like legit, like that kind of really rolly, kind of like groovy grindcore sound, like breaking through there. Like there's just so many bits. If you took like 30 seconds of the various 30-second points of this EP, you wouldn't know what was going to come next or what's been before it. Very, very sporadic, throwing in some death metal tremolo picking, throwing in some slam, throwing in some beatdown vibes, just some very traditional hardcore style vibes with like the two step that I mentioned earlier on. Like holy shit. 942 I've written breakdown. So obviously it kind of progresses into sounding a bit more beatdown-esque, but if you just listen to this in isolation. Then, like I said, it gets very hardcore beatdown-esque, possibly both at the same time, at least one or the other, I guess. That was a really stupid thing to say, wish I hadn't said that. Anyway, but before that sounds like straight, that sounds like a deathcore. I hope that's not an insult to the band in any way, but just with just everything. That has got more core influences there than like, you know, traditional hardcore, and like grindcore and traditional death metal and all that type of stuff. There's just cram filled with good ideas and interesting little like takes on things. But then it's not followed by like the kind of like more kind of like core-esque style breakdown isn't followed by blackened or symphonic or, you know, like more deathcore. It goes into some very DIY hardcore vibes. Super, super cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. There's a death metal section that I want to listen to again here. I mean, just listen to that. Listen to the guitar playing in isolation again. Man, just feel like I'm just repeating myself, but just it's just so clever, so interesting. Last section here, there's some cool guitar work that I want to highlight, and then we're going to we're gonna wrap it up. Sorry if that was really loud. I just coughed right into the mic there. RIP headphone users. Set about two or three nice little guitar sections through here. Just kind of kept things kind of like nice and atmospheric. So much. Yeah, just what can I say? Just really, really fucking well done. Really, really fucking well done. I could, 51 minutes for a 18-track EP. There's a lot to talk about here. There's a lot to talk about. I'm thoroughly impressed. So regarding the mix, for me, I'm not sure if this is kind of like commonplace, because like there's some things, some certain types of music are mixed in a certain way that is kind of like a hallmark of the genre. So I'm not sure if for me it was the cymbals. The cymbals were far too high in the mix, far too loud. Maybe could have used a different type of cymbal, mixed it differently. But for me, they just felt a little bit too loud in the mix from like the very beginning. Now that I listened to it again, so I think there's a chance that this might be a problem on my end, because I listen to a lot of deathcore. I listen to a lot of kind of like stuff that's been there is such a thing as a bad mix, but there's also such a thing as a overly good mix where everything's just a little bit too perfect and nothing's got any kind of like humanity to it whatsoever. I believe that there's a chance that I might be the type of music that I listen to the most of the time just simply has there's just a lot more production on it. But for me, it would have been nice to hear a little bit less snare and a little bit less cymbals, because I kind of felt that they dominated the high register like in a massive way, and I thought that some of the interesting details from the album actually kind of got slightly drowned out by that. I liked the snare and I did like the cymbals, but I thought the cymbals they got a little bit rattly towards the end. Kind of sounded a little bit like a cat toy at times when they were like really, really going, and it kind of like drowned out like other things in the mix. And the snare was possibly just a little bit too quiet as well. But that might just be because this might just be like a standard way of mixing cymbals and drums in general in this style of music, and I'm just not used to it because I don't listen to a lot of like, you know, whatever you want to like call this. But that would probably be one. So I'll give you an example. Very cool. I can hear them, but if someone was listening to this EP on like their lunch break or something like that, they only had one headphone in, they were hitting the vape, they were fucking texting their wife, blah 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 blah, you know, all that type of shit. You might miss it just because of how high the hi-hat, just like all the symbols of every like description were just like for me, they kind of like they could have been brought down a wee bit, and those guitars would have just like captured the attention much easier. It's just a little thing, but they just are a little bit too quiet, and they're really, really cool. And it'd be nice to hear them just a little bit better, because like legitimately cool legitimately cool sounds coming out of the guitars, but just potentially a little bit too quiet. And you could hear that. I think it was a hi-hat in that situation. You could hear that kind of just a little bit too loud over the guitars. There's another part here that highlights it. Like, very cool guitar work. You can hear it. It's not completely drowned out, but just potentially a little bit louder in the mix, and the cymbals coming down. But overall, that was fantastic. I love stripped back shit. I love metal in general, actually, to be honest. But I love stripped back stuff in a very certain way. It's got a certain quality to it. There's so much going on here, so many different influences, so many different ideas. It was just so much fun to listen to in places as well. So groovy, so fucking aggressive. You could imagine these guys playing like this album on a tour with like Paleface or No Face or something like that, or Varials, and you can imagine it going down an absolute treat. Really, really impressive stuff. Yeah, just a little thing about the mix, but that was probably more just my ears than anything else. Enjoyed the shit out of that. Really, really impressive stuff. So, as per usual, links to the band, the band's YouTube, so you can check out the album that we just heard. Links to merchandise, links to Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple, blah 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 blah, whatever else they've got. All the links will be down below. Please remember to scroll down, click on every single one of those links, buy some merchandise. It really helps the band out. Stream their shit on Spotify. Leave them a comment for the algorithm. Just do whatever you can to support, because a truly unique band. Truly unique, in my opinion. If there's other bands that sound like that, send them my way, because I really want to hear them. But that was fantastic, and I want to hear more in the future. So go show them some love and support by buy some merchandise, or at the very least leave them a nice comment. So one more time here at the end, Trials full EP. Enjoyed the shit out of that. Take it easy, guys. Love you all very much, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.